Aultmore, which is I think you're really gonna like this one.
Okay.
This is a Speyside Scotch.
Okay.
So traditionally a little more friendly and pretty.
Expect it to be a little sweeter.
Right.
Okay.
So the Auchendarren burn.
You're just
where the water's coming from.
Making noises. Auchendarren burn?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a water source.
Ooh, man, that is got a lot of it's lively.
Yeah, but you know what? It's not as butterscotch as your typical Speyside, and it's not as sherried as a lot of the Speysides can be.
It's much fruitier than.
You know what I really love about this is that it's called Aultmore of the Foggy Moss.
Floral and fruity.
I wish we could have names like that in Texas.
We can do whatever the hell we want.
Aultmore of the Foggy Moss.
Yeah, we got foggy moss for days.
First distilled in 1897. We were a country. When did we become a state? We were a country by late 1800s, but
since the formation of the earth.
That's right. I can't remember.
The idea of Texas was.
So what happened was the original owner was also the owner of Ben Rhines or Ben Rhines. I can never remember the pronunciation on Ben Rhines. Originally powered by water wheel, and then it's sort of. Then they switched to steam engine, which ran for 70 years non-stop.
70 years steam.
70 years non-stop.
There is a warranty.
Apart from maintenance.
Well, then that's non-stop.
That's non-stop.
Yeah, they stop.
I mean, if you turn it off to fix it and repair it and then turn it back on again, it was always producing.
Yeah, I mean, you could say that.
Imagine this.
If it needs maintenance every other day.
Okay, if you owned a car.
Right.
And you drove it, and the only time you ever turned it off was for the mechanic to do some stuff and you turn it back on again, you would say, my car is always on.
Cheating.
No, that's not cheating.
Don't even change the oil. You can't even park it.
You can't even park it.
Can't park it, you can't change the oil.
You gotta refuel on the road like a jet with a guy hanging off of a truck going, ah!
You gotta funnel on the side of the car trying to catch the fuel. This is fruity, there's some floral bits.
Yeah, but there's some
it's
character in this thing.
It's very lively. I can't put my finger on what those mid to low range flavors are, but they're there. It's got
there's a slight, like a cheese kind of dense funk. From remember our cheese day? It's one of the lighter end, less aged cheeses.
You know who I realized I just am?
Who are you?
The bad guy from Shrek.
You are! You are the bad guy from Shrek.
What's that guy's name?
Lord Falkmore,
something like
Falk.
that.
Yeah. You totally are. The mini man.
Thanks, Tribe.
So the Pattison brothers bought up Aultmore, and then it almost wiped out the distillery in the Pattison crash because they were overindulging in whiskey speculation, and when it collapsed, it nearly took most of the Scotch whiskey industry with it.
Was this sherry finished?
No, I don't think so.
I'm getting some kind of sweetness. It's not fruity, it's not floral.
You know what this reminds me of is a little bit of Deanston. Hang on, I haven't tasted it yet. No, I'm wrong. No, I'm not.
I think
as a matter of fact, if you took Deanston,
do the Deanston.
But here's you have to remember. I'm going to pour you some Deanston.
Yeah.
But take the Deanston 12 and remove the black pepper.
Okay.
And you get all this honeysuckle.
Honeysuckle.
You remember growing up and you would pull
try
to, and it tastes mostly like plants.
Yeah, but then a
little twinge of sweetness. That's what I get from this. I get mostly plants and green earth and vegetation, but with a hint of honey.
I get that.
Right?
James Lytle, what's the best way to get other tastes and scents out of whiskey? I've got several that I only get one or two nose profiles and then one taste. So
it just takes repetition. And thinking about it.
If you want to be hardcore about it and actually put down pretty meaningful money, a lot of people, we're not telling you to do this, but a lot of people end up getting nosing kits where they're smelling and they're tasting the whiskey and they're trying to pinpoint what is this thread, what is this layer that I'm getting, and they can go through the nosing kit and figure out exactly what it's similar to.
It's similar, but there's pepper in that one, and it's darker. It's darker slightly.
It's richer.
So this is to Deanston.
It's a lighter Deanston.
What the Hazelburn was to Auchentoshan.
Yeah, no. I was getting the Auchentoshan 3-word as the more intense and vibrant of those two whiskeys.
Yeah, this is the more intense and a little more black peppery.
So what the 3-word
this is a little light
too.
Yeah.
Damn, I gotta
that Deanston 12 is magical. I love it.
This is really nice. The Aultmore 12. I prefer the Deanston.
Yeah, because it's got more spikiness to it. Okay, so Aultmore has changed hands like 6 or 7 times. It keeps going. At one point, John Dewar's and Sons owned it. Then Scottish Malt Distillers owned it. Distiller Company owned it. The Bacardi bought it as a subsidiary of Dewar's.
So in situations like that, I'm always, and maybe it's not warranted, I'm always kind of suspicious. Is it just a label they bought and then this resembles nothing that it did back in the day?
No, if they're using the same distillery, often they're using the same processes.
Okay, so it's meaningful, and there's no regulation, but it's meaningful whenever a brand is acquired. More often than not, they're trying to make sure that it's true to what that brand has always been making.
Yeah, it actually closed down in the late 60s and reopened like 3 or 4 years later with new stills and rebuilt and ready to rock.
So since
then, it's been going just fine.
Fair enough. We got the Ellen Johnson question. Is there a member of the industry that you'd like to meet but haven't yet? I feel like you'd like to meet this Sir Richard Patterson.
I really would.
Okay.
I've never met him, but I just like how bombastic he is.
No, for me.
I wanted to meet Heather Green, but I met her.
Oh yeah, no, she's
she's freaking
brilliant,
awesome.
Brilliant, wonderful. She was the first whiskey sommelier, the woman
to call herself a whiskey sommelier.
The first woman to be part of the Scottish Whisky.
She did Scott. Yeah, she was a first in a lot of categories.
Right.
She's awesome.
Yeah.
And she was on my list, and then I met, not in a Friends episode sort of way, but like she was on my list of people to meet.
Different list.
Yeah.
She actually taught at the school the last class.
Yeah, she came and spoke and hung out with the Whiskey Level 1 students, and that's when we got to meet her.
Yeah.
But Richard Patterson, he's next on my list.
Yeah, by the way, more information about the school, we'll put in the link in the description below. Nick Ranville, I'd like to have something to snack on while I drink whiskey at home while watching a movie or whatever. Could there potentially be a snack food and whiskey pairing video in the future?
Yeah, you know what I use?
Man.
Is pretzels.
Pretzels?
Because they're salty, but they don't alter the flavor in your mouth as dramatically as other things do.
So regarding pairing videos and that kind of stuff, experimental stuff, we've been making a list of all the things that we want to do on the Whiskey Tribe channel.
We'll get into it.
That we've been kind of saving all the best stuff until we have a room to shoot in and do a good job of it. Right now, we're just trying to make something to make content and have a little bit of information, a little bit of shenanigans in there until we can finally land in the room and hit the ground running with our content there.
Yep.
But that's for days. Man, so much of that content's gonna be great. I'm a little scared to do the toast now.
Yeah, me too.
Because there's a disturbance in the whiskey spirit force.
I'm not feeling very good.
All right, we're gonna sack up and we're gonna do this. All right, here's to fighting, stealing, and drinking.
If you fight, may you fight for a friend.
If you steal, may you... Hey, thanks for hanging out in the Whiskey Vault.
Don't forget to throw in a